Hello, welcome back. So today I have a very special little booklet to share with you. And it is it's like a little, it's the larger version of the little white book that was put out by Frankie Albano of Tarot Productions and the Albano Waite tarot that lots of people love in 1968. And this little book, I have to give credit where credit is due. Nancy, I can't remember her name on YouTube, but I know she's in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. She doesn't actually make videos or anything. She found a copy of it, sent it to me pretty much immediately, and was like, look how awesome, I finally found one, because we've both been looking for it for a long time. It is extremely hard to come by, as I'm sure you can imagine, because it's just a thin little, like, pamphlet style book. And so I was like, oh, amazing. I'm so glad you found one. That's, fantastic. If you find another one, please send it my way. And it was like, I feel like the next day, she sent me a message and was like, hey, I found one. And she sent me the link and I ordered it and got it. And I'm just so excited to have it. Because now my Albano collection is complete. I kind of hesitate to say that because I feel like every time I say something like that, I find another edition or another version that I want. But I think my vintage Albano collection is complete now. I have everything they put out. So yeah, I'll flip the camera and we can take a little closer look at it. And yeah, I'm excited to share this little piece of history with y'all. All right, so here we have our tarot instructions by Frankie Albano of Tarot Productions. And this was put out in 1968. It is hard to come by because it obviously is just a very thin little like booklet. It's not really, obviously it has lasted quite a while, but it doesn't appear to me that it was meant to last or like made to last like a bound book would have been. So firstly, I would like to start off by saying that the art on the cover is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure who's responsible for the artwork. I know Frankie Albano did make anti-war posters, so I assume he may be actually responsible for the cover art, but at any rate, it's absolutely gorgeous. This olivey green and this like duck egg kind of a blue against the like creamy neutral little parchment color. It's just beautiful. So you open it up and it gives you like obviously a little index. And this font is typical of Tarot Productions. I've never seen this font before. I've tried to match it before with programs and like software, and I can't match it. So I think that this is a font created specifically by or for Tarot Productions in 1968. So, anyway, it goes into history of the tarot images, where they come from, and then tarot for the beginner, and then some spreads, obviously the Celtic cross, that's included in absolutely everything, and then we go straight into the majors. And there is like a sepia toned version of all of the cards. Well, all of the majors anyway. And it goes through pretty much it's pretty much pulled directly from The Key to the Tarot by A.E. Waite. But that's pretty typical of all little books like this, so I'm not really going to fault him over it. So we have all the majors. And then this is interesting. He lists it as the Last Judgment, I believe, in the little white book and everything. And I don't know where that came from, because the card obviously just says Judgment, but I think that is specific to Frankie. And then the Fool is, this, as I understand it, is a pretty typical way of laying this out, putting the Fool right before the world. And I wish that I could explain to you why, but unfortunately I cannot. And so then it gives you like a little, the keyword version, kind of like abridged version of, or paraphrased, or, you know, a little catchphrase for each of the majors. And then we go into the minor arcana, or in this case, the lesser. And it breaks it down from king to ace. And it gives like a nice little paragraph about each thing. And then it gives you just kind of a general keyword based on the number, essentially. And then reversals, also based on the number or whatever it is. And then this is, I think, the most interesting part of the entire little book, because I've never seen anything like this. And I don't know where he got it from, and maybe it's just that I'm not well read and this is something that everyone knows exists or whatever, but he gives meanings for the recurrence of cards in a spread. So if you pull 4 kings, he says this is great honor. 3 kings is consultation. 2 kings, minor counsel. And then he breaks it down just like he did for all the rest. King, queen, knight, page, and then 10 all the way down to the aces. And I think that that is really interesting and kind of a little strange, and I've never seen it. And then he does the same thing for reversals. And so I guess he's assuming that you could potentially, and I guess you could potentially have 4 reversed kings in your reading, but I think that is extremely unlikely. I mean, I'm sure you could, but you know. Yeah. So, and then at the back, it just says Tarot Productions and then his P.O. box in Los Angeles. And that's it. That's the back of the book. So it's just a little short, little booklet. 32, 33. It has 38 pages total. It kind of looks like, honestly, he might have just typed this up and made it himself. Like, it doesn't... I mean, it's just like inside stapled. It probably would be a good idea at some point for me to replace these staples, because they have obviously started to oxidize and rust, and I wouldn't want that to damage the actual book. And that would be an easy little replacement. Yeah, so I hope y'all have enjoyed seeing this really, really cool little piece of history, and thanks for stopping by.